You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. In the depths of America's most complex legal entanglements, there are stories that never make it to the headlines. Secrets buried beneath mainstream coverage, hidden in sealed motions, redacted reports and encrypted prison calls. This is not just the story of Robert Sylvester Kelly, known to the world as R. Kelly, but a story of systemic corruption. A potential criminal conspiracy and a justice system that may have turned against its own principles. At the center of this unfolding shadowy network stand two federal prosecutors, Angel Krull and Elizabeth Geddes. What follows is not mere speculation. It is a legally informed analysis that raises deep concerns about witness tampering, illegal collaboration, and potential RICO violations that now haunt the very architects of the prosecution. Azriel Clary was at the beginning a vocal supporter of R. Kelly, expected to testify on his behalf. Her sudden shift to becoming the government's principal witness shocked even the most seasoned case observers. But what if this was never a matter of truth? What if this was a matter of manipulation? What if her transformation on the stand was not voluntary, but the result of coercive acts carried out under color of law, facilitated by illegally leaked prison communications and enforced by federal agents acting under prosecutorial instruction? This is where it begins. Not so long ago, evidence surfaced suggesting that privileged prison calls made by or concerning R. Kelly were illegally obtained, possibly without proper judicial oversight or legal warrants, and then used against him strategically. According to insider sources, these communications were accessed and exploited to manipulate Azriel Clary's mental state, pulling her into government custody and allegedly reprogramming her with the help of cooperating officials and third parties. This was not a lawful subpoena. This was not standard federal procedure. This was potentially witness tampering. A federal crime under the U.S. law, and importantly, one of the predicate acts under the RICO statute. If a prosecutor knowingly influences or pressures a witness through illegal means, or uses unlawfully acquired information to reshape testimony, that is a direct breach of federal law. And in this case, it appears to be more than a single isolated act. For a RICO charge to be valid, there must be a pattern of racketeering activity involving two or more predicate crimes committed by individuals acting as part of an enterprise. In this case, the key players in that enterprise may have included Angel Krull, who was an assistant U.S. attorney, Elizabeth Geddes, her co-counsel, and the Bureau of Prisons officers who enabled the leak and facilitated unauthorized access to R. Kelly's confidential data. Then Tasha K., who is a YouTube blogger with a well-documented history of leaking sensitive case details. These actors appear to have worked in concert, leaking, disseminating and weaponizing information to not only prejudice the court of public opinion, but to alter the testimony of a defense witness. That's not just unethical. That's criminal. As the possibility of misconduct loomed larger, Krull and Geddes may have realized the depth of their exposure. If R. Kelly's defense team were ever able to prove that Azriel Clary was manipulated, that confidential prison communications were unlawfully accessed, and that a media agent was used to psychologically coerce the public and witnesses, it would open the door to RICO prosecution against the prosecutors themselves. And their positions wouldn't protect them from the law they misused. According to individuals close to the case, an extremist gang member affiliated with the Aryan Brotherhood was allegedly involved in a murder-for-hire attempt against R. Kelly while in prison. The timing alarming. The motive even more disturbing. One interpretation, chilling but highly plausible, is that Angel Krull and Geddes, fearing indictment under RICO, may have resorted to the ultimate obstruction tactic: eliminate the only witness who could bring them down. While this connection still requires more formal investigation, it cannot be ignored that murder for hire is also a RICO predicate offense as defined in the law books. If prosecutors orchestrated or indirectly encouraged such an act by turning a blind eye, by enabling access, or by arranging conditions that placed R. Kelly in harm's way, they would be culpable under RICO. They would not be prosecutors anymore. They would in fact quickly turn into defendants at risk of jail time. The blogger known online as Tasha K served more than just a media function in this network. She released privileged details, taunted the defense and perpetuated narratives favorable only to the prosecution, sometimes before those facts were even publicly known. This raises a stark question: was she planted or employed to soften up defense witnesses, to discredit exculpatory evidence, or worse, intimidate others into silence? In a RICO framework, this could make her a co-conspirator involved in the obstruction of justice, witness intimidation and ongoing fraud against the legal process. To prove a RICO case, federal law requires an enterprise. Check. A pattern. Check. 2 or more predicate crimes. Here we have witness tampering, obstruction and potential murder for hire. Check. Continuity and intent to benefit the enterprise. Check. Whether the end goal was career advancement, political gain, or the complete erasure of R. Kelly's defense, the actors appear to have aligned in clear coordination. This is in fact not just injustice. It's criminal racketeering under federal law. The ultimate irony? The very law used to convict R. Kelly. RICO now hangs over the heads of the prosecutors themselves. They sought to paint him as a criminal mastermind using enablers, staff and systems for personal gain. But the evidence suggests it may be Krull and Geddes who used government power, BOP officers and online surrogates to build a fraudulent narrative and silence anyone who stood in the way. Even if it meant putting a man's life at risk. Even if it meant hijacking the justice system itself, which they did. This is not about absolving R. Kelly based on emotion. It's about demanding accountability for all parties, including prosecutors, when they violate the very laws they're sworn to uphold. If the allegations outlined here are true, then Angel Krull, Elizabeth Geddes, complicit BOP agents and blogger Tasha K have participated in an illegal enterprise that undermines the very foundation of due process. It is time for these claims to be investigated. It is time for the defense to be heard. And it is time for the American people to understand that justice cannot be served by injustice. In the name of justice we ask, who really violated the law? And how far will some go to protect their lives when the truth is no longer on their side? That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.